Hello, in this video I'm going to be going over the ES5 every method that was introduced into the array prototype. So every array is going to have this method available for you to call. So what does every do? It is a method that will return true or false depending on whether it's true that every element in the array passes some type of test, some type of predicate. So before every was a thing, this is how we would have to write our code. Maybe we wanted a function that would determine if every item in an array was even. And so here's my function here. I'm using TypeScript, so you'll see some extra things here like this type declaration, but just worry about the basic code and the logic here. So there's a for loop, we're looping through the array, and for every item in the array, we're checking to see in this case, because we're checking to see if they're all even, we're checking to see if we encounter one that's odd, and then we return false. Because the question is every element in this array even? So as soon as we encounter something that contradicts that, we're going to return false. We don't have to keep looping. Otherwise, we're going to make it safely through this array, and finally we return true, because it must be true that they're all even if we never encountered this false that made us return prematurely from the function. So that's how we would do this beforehand. But how can we take advantage of the convenient every method that is built into all arrays now? So to do that, what you want to do is first we want to use the variable for the array. So that's going to be set1. And that sample data comes from up here. So it's this array. So set1.every. And what we need to pass in here is a callback function. Now, I'm going to be using ES6 arrow functions as my callbacks, but this works with classic ES5 anonymous functions as well. So what I'm going to pass in here is just a callback, and it is going to contain, let's just say, the value. Now, this is the minimum that you need, but you can keep going. You can receive the value, you can receive the index, and you can even receive the entire array. You just need to place parameters for those. But I'm only going to be dealing with the value. Okay, and what we do here is we're going to determine basically we're going to return a either true or false. So this function we're writing is a predicate. It's going to return true or false, and every is only going to return true if every item in this, if its predicate returns true. So let me show you what I mean. We can just say return value mod 2 is equal to 0. So that's going to say, this is basically asking, is it even or not? If it's even, it's true. If it's not, it's false. So we're going to return either true or false. And if every item in this array, because this callback is going to get invoked for each item, if everything returns true, then every is going to return true. So every is returning true, so we want to capture that result in some kind of variable. So I'll just say let answer equal that, and then we can console log the answer. Okay, so let me go ahead and run that. So I'm using TypeScript, so I kind of have a custom system set up here for building this and running it. So I got false. That was the answer I got back. So let's take a look at set1, and I would expect false because look at there, right there at number 7, that is not even, so we would not continue through here. Let's do this again with set2. Okay, so now I'm going to say that the answer is equal to set2.every. And I'm actually going to use the shorthand for ES6 arrow functions, and this is just going to be value, or we can actually abbreviate it to val mod 2 equal to 0. All right, so no parentheses here because it's a single parameter, and then this is an implied return. This is a return shorthand. So we don't have curly braces, and it just means it's going to return this computation, this value. So that should give us the same thing. I'm going to console log my answer now. So now if I run this, we should have our false from before. We should have true now. So set2, let's take a look at it. All of them are even, so that looks good. This next one was every order paid with card. So here's our orders. We have total and method for each of the orders. So I want to go through and see if it's true that every order had a payment method of card. So let's see. So this time I'll say answer is equal to orders.every, and I want to return whether order.method is equal to card. All right, let me turn on line wrapping. Okay, so now you can see what's going on. So orders.every, we get a single order, and we're determining if order.method is equal to card. So if that's true, we return true. If it's false, we return false. So let's see what that answer is. All right, so that last one there, I got false. Okay, we would expect that because if you look at the cards, we have cash, card, and card. And the last one here was every order over $10. So I'm going to get a new answer. And my predicate this time is going to be is the order.total greater than 10. And let's go ahead and console log the answer. Run my code again. And this time I get true. So if we take a look at the orders, each of them had a total over $10. So because every item in there passed this predicate, because this arrow function returned true for every single item in the orders array, then the every function itself returns true. So that's what's going on with there. This is a lot more convenient than having to write out, a function with a for loop to go through there, knowing when to return prematurely to save time and effort and all that stuff. So the every function, really good thing to take advantage of. It's just going to save you some time.